It's the word, Vonnie EC. Another trucker. Yeah, truck in the shop. And this time, it's not 4 p.m. Um, from what I've researched and, what I've talked to my mechanic about, it is definitely has something to do with my clutch slipping. Um, I've noticed within the past month, anytime, like once I get in like ninth gear, like with ninth and 10th gear, um, especially like when I get in ninth gear and I'm trying to rev up the RPMs. One thing I noticed, the needle, it'll shoot up. The needle on the RPMs gauge, it'll shoot up and then it'll drop back down and then it'll slowly start rising back up. It's been doing that between ninth and 10th gear. So, I use good old AI at first. I kind of figured. It had something to do with the clutch. You know what I'm saying? With the gears and things of that nature. I kind of figured it had something to do with that before I looked it up. But yeah, went to good old Chat GPT and it gave me a great breakdown and basically kind of told me what I thought it was. Of course it broke down many details of what it could be and how to go about it. But yeah. So, and I described it to my mechanic and that's pretty much what he said. So, truck in the shop. I had took the truck to the shop yesterday, as a matter of fact. So my mechanic, he ain't gonna be able to get to look to it, be able to get to it till tomorrow anyway. So, man, I'm actually just kicked back, man, enjoying these off days. I don't know how much it's gonna hit me for. I don't know, man. I remember one time I was in a Freightliner, and it was another guy in there with a Volvo. Now I don't know if his Volvo was automatic or if it was manual. Probably was automatic. A lot of you Volvo guys, y'all be automatic. But I just remember he had some issues with his clutch, and as I was sitting, minding my own business, I remember when one of the reps came into the room to talk to this particular guy who had the clutch issue, as he was discussing with him the problem and the bill. It was like $6,000. So it's funny. I just never forget that. That was like the first time. I remember I was in the shop for a radiator. That was like one of the first. Once I got this driving on the road, like once I first started in my lease operator endeavor, that was like the first expense. First little, piece of expense that was a piece of change paying for a radiator. That was like $4,500. But I just remember this gentleman. I don't know. I think this guy might have been of Eastern European descent or whatnot. But yeah, they told him it was gonna be 6 bands. So ever since then, even as my issue with my clutch occurred, I just automatically assumed that I'm gonna be coming about the 6 bands. But I forgot this is Freightliner. You know what I'm saying? So if this is the targeted issue, when I talked to my mechanic yesterday, I was asking him like, what you think this is gonna hit me for altogether? And shit, what he was saying is about half that. So if that's the case, then that's cool. But you know what? I'm the way that I'm trained. I just always expect the worst. I always expect the worst. So it is what it is, man. That's part of the game. Yeah. And yeah, man. That's why when you have your own truck, man, gotta have that paper stacked up, man, because things will happen, especially if you got a truck with high mileage on there. So it is what it is, man. I ain't tripping on it, man. I'm just taking a little time, unwinding, handling some unfinished business, man. I might mess around and monetize my channel. Somebody had mentioned that one of the last comments I had seen, somebody was like, man, you need to monetize your channel. Or you should monetize. When I tried to months ago, for some reason, it like I said, it was like some complicated stuff I had going on with my account, and I just never went back to it. But since I got these days off, man, I think I'm gonna knock that out. Just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Why not let YouTube pay me? You know, my aim was never to extract money from people, but if YouTube gonna pay me, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? But other than that, though, man, everything. I guess everything is cool. What else? Um, Getting out your comfort zone. Something else I want to touch on. Getting out of your comfort zone, man, is the only way you gonna grow in life. Period. Anytime when it's time to make a shift in your life, you gonna have to get out the comfort zone. You know, there's no other way to make changes in your life outside of getting outside of your comfort zone. You're gonna have to do things that you don't want to do to make major changes in your life. Nothing is just gonna be an easy transition. And it ain't, you know what I'm saying? This is just outside of trucking. In trucking, outside of trucking, whatever you into in your life, but that's something that I've learned. And you know, trucking in and of itself is being outside of my comfort zone. Um, I've learned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, especially in trucking, man. Like, you know, before trucking for years, I've been used to a 9 to 5 schedule, so to speak. You know, having a set schedule, knowing what time I'm gonna get off. You know, you going to sleep the same time. Everything works uniform. But in this trucking, shit don't be working like that. Especially when you out here grinding. For real, for real. Maybe local, but you regional and you OTR, yeah, you know, waking up, driving, sleeping at all different times of the day and the night. It can be tough. It can be tough, man. I lose a lot of sleep. It's like I get my sleep, but sometimes I have to lose sleep. Like I think it was Thanksgiving Day, if I'm not mistaken, man. From Thanksgiving, somewhere between Thanksgiving Day and the day after, man, I was up for like 24 hours, dog. I was up for 24 hours. And once I got back home, yeah, because I ended up having to take a load Thanksgiving night that had to be delivered 3 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. But sometimes the way loads come in and the timing, man, like my sleep just be everywhere sometimes. So sometimes I can't get the sleep that I need, man, and I just gotta fight through it. But I know my body, I know my limits. You know, I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. So yeah, man. Once I got back home from making that delivery that Friday after Thanksgiving, man, I had officially been up for 24 hours. And when I laid down, I was knocked out for about 10 hours. I can't sleep like that. I can never. I can never get 10 hours of sleep. I can't even remember the last time I can get like the average 8 hours of sleep that they say that we need. Like 6 hours is pretty good for me. It's hard for me to sleep during the daytime. When it's nighttime, I crash out. But during the day, it'd be hard for me to get sleep, man. So yeah, it's still parts about this trucking journey that's uncomfortable. It's like, but I'm comfortable and uncomfortable, you know. But I just fight through it. And one thing that I learned about myself, I don't know how it worked for you, but for some strange reason, man, like if I find myself getting tired or you know what I'm saying, you drowsy, I've learned that music gives me life. Cause I barely listen to music when I'm driving. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Music ain't my go-to when I'm driving. Even when I got energy, I don't listen to music in the truck. You know, I might listen to, podcast content or I'm riding in silence. But sometimes when I'm tired and I need that pick me up, man, music do it. Crazy, it's weird, but music or either music or I have to pull over and actually, close my eyes anywhere between 15, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. And yeah, so I've been doing this for so long at this point, man. I know my limits. I know what I can and what I can't do. So it's still parts and aspects of this trucking thing that's still uncomfortable, but it is what it is, man. But like I say, man, trucking in and of itself, at least the way I look at it, it is getting out your comfort zone, especially when you coming from working a regular 9 to 5 type of program and getting into this trucking. Yeah, you're gonna have to be prepared to get out your comfort zone with it. But that's in anything in life. You want to make any type of changes in life, any shift, anything, gonna have to be ready to get out your comfort zone. I've told y'all that I used to work in the casino industry, and leaving the casino industry to get on my journey to get into trucking, that was a major shift in getting out of my comfort zone. And getting out your comfort zone can feel scary, man. It can feel scary to make you second guess yourself, but it has to be done. We don't have rites of passage no more in today's time. We not in the times to where when you become a young boy, a young teenager, your family or your tribe send you out into the wilderness and you gotta kill a wolf and chop his head off and bring it back to prove your manhood. We ain't got none of that. You know what I'm saying? Your rites of passage in today's time, in current times, is getting out your comfort zone. That's your rites of passage right there. Embracing getting out your comfort zone. So, and yeah, I'm always embracing being out of my comfort zone. So yeah, but you know what was funny, man? Some videos ago, you know, somebody had somebody had some interesting things to say about me. Some very interesting things, and it was one of the video. It was the video that I was speaking on my frustration with, understanding the personal conveyance and just some minor stuff that I was going through with my company. Nothing major, but yeah, man, somebody, that person, I don't even, who knows, they probably watching this video, but somebody decided they wanted to diagnose me. The person told me that I had character flaws because I said I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I was told that I had anger issues. uh, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my feelings because I'm complaining about this, about my little gripe. You know what I'm saying? Which it didn't mean nothing, but so yeah, I was told these things about myself, right? And they were right. That person that said that, man, they was right. I thought about it. I really thought about it, and they was right about all those things that they said about me. I do got anger issues. I do have a character flaw. I am in my feelings all the time. And you know what? I embrace all those things because all those things put together, on the flip side, is what helped me get to where I'm at today. All those things is what helped me make shifts and changes in my life. Yeah, I know this sounds crazy, don't it? Don't make no sense. Well, let me explain. Um, when it comes to making changes in your life, to making major shifts in your life, you need to be emotionally charged to have a motivation and an inspiration to get your ass up and do something about your circumstances that you don't like that you in. You know what I'm saying? I've said this before, like when I used to work in the casino industry, man, one of the things that really pissed me off, I remember I wanted a Tuesday off. I'll just never forget this shit. I wanted a Tuesday off. So I put in for PTO for a Tuesday off. I think maybe I had Monday, Tuesday. No, I had Sunday, Monday off, and I wanted a Tuesday off. And I got denied. All due to seniority. You know what I'm saying? A Tuesday. Most people want the weekends off. I'm trying to get a Tuesday off. I couldn't get it off. And deep down on the inside, it burnt me up. No, I never went complaining. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the person that said that about me. One thing they don't know about me, um, I don't argue with people within the corporate structures that I'm under. I've never, anytime I get any kind of a reprimand about anything that I'm doing wrong and it's brought to my attention, it's always no problem, won't happen again. But I do feel some type of way about certain things. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yes, when my days got denied or when that Tuesday got denied, I felt some type of way, man. That made me feel like I ain't had no control of my life. And on the inside, I was angry about that. And eventually I started coming up with plans to do something about that because I'm like, this don't make no sense. Like, I can't live my life like this. I can't live my life like this, man. Like, that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Only people who's on the same frequency as me, who either got some type of freedom in their life or they want freedom, is gonna relate to what I'm saying. So yeah, the anger. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never went off on nobody, but the way that I felt on the inside, the helplessness, it made me angry. Yeah. So guess what I did? I used that energy to help propel me to do something about the circumstances and the situations that I was in that I did not want to be in. I was told that I had a character flaw because I said I don't like nobody telling me what to do. And I've never been combative towards my superiors in any type of corporate setting or any type of workplace. I've never been a combative type. But I mean, hey, if wanting to be in control of my life, if fighting for my sovereignty to be in control of my life is a character flaw, then I would gladly embrace that. I embrace it with wholeheartedness. Yeah, I got a character flaw because I want to be in control of my life. Yes, as much as I possibly can. Yeah, character flaw, like a mug. Um, and I was told that I was in my feelings. Yeah, you damn right I'm in my feelings. Like I said, man, when it comes to making changes in your life, when it comes to making the shift in your life, when it comes to fighting for what you want to fight for in your life, especially when it comes to your freedom, your livelihood, things of that nature, you're going to have to be emotionally charged. See, it's one thing to be in your emotions and to be arguing with people on the inside. Arguing with people on the outside, you know what I'm saying? Which is something I never do. But the only way, the only reason that I was able to change my situation from when I left a circumstance that I was getting tired of to where I'm at now, which I much rather be, I had to be emotionally charged to do that. Yeah. I didn't get here by shucking and jiving. I didn't get here by just smiling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, part of the fuel that pushed me was doing something about my frustration or what I felt was a frustration as far as me not having control over my life. You know, look at y'all favorite athletes, you know, champions, you know, RP Kobe, Michael Jordan and whoever else, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these people they built their greatness off anger, you know what I'm saying? Or being emotionally charged. To be great like people like that, in general, you have to be emotionally charged to be able to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Michael, MJ, Mike, Kobe lose a game. They practicing. They in that gym. They pissed off. You know what's funny? I still haven't seen that. I forgot that documentary, but it's a documentary on Netflix that a lot of people was talking about a few years ago when it first came out, about, you know, behind the scenes with Chicago Bulls, and I just heard about it. But Mike wasn't no joke. You know what I'm saying? I know it's when we was kids coming up watching Michael Jordan, I always thought Michael Jordan was a nice guy. but through the years, it was just exposed, and especially in that documentary, I forgot what it's called, but people who I'm pretty sure y'all know it, but yeah, Michael Jordan was no joke. Michael, from what I heard, on the court in the locker room, Michael Jordan was an asshole. Yeah, he was a real general. Like, yeah, especially when it come to competing, you know what I'm saying? Anger will drive you. Your emotions will drive you. So I just thought it was funny that those things were said about me, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? But they was right though. But in the context that they was trying to put that on me, they were wrong. But those characteristics are right. All those emotions had to be used for me to change and make shifts in my life. Period. And I'm gonna continue to have a character flaw. I'm gonna continue to be angry. They ain't nothing gonna change because that's what got me here today. And I'm gonna allow it to keep pushing me further. Yeah. Yeah. So it's all part of getting out the comfort zone, man. And when you get out your comfort zone, yeah, you gonna have all different type of emotions. I remember I forgot it was like right before I got my truck, sometime right before I got my truck, and I don't know where I seen this at, man, but it was somewhere on YouTube, trucking channel or something. But somebody was just talking about the experience of having your own truck, and they was like, man, you get your own truck, you gonna go through every emotion out here. I didn't really know what that meant. I didn't really know what that meant because I'm thinking like, okay, maybe that's just them. That's just them and they issue. But what they said was true. You ever get your own truck, you become responsible for your own equipment, you gonna go through all type of emotions. Yeah. You gonna go through all type of emotions, all type of feelings. It's scary. Yeah, shit can be scary sometimes. You know what I'm saying? In this particular situation, like right now, my truck is in the shop. The good thing about this situation is that, see, one thing I like to stay on top of shit with my truck. So I noticed this was going on. And as I was doing my research, I mean, Chat GPT might not be accurate all the time, but it give you a good idea how you need to be looking at things. So what I got from there is like I had time to get my truck into the shop before, I ended up on the side of the road. And once you end up on the side of the road, that's more money. That's towing, and you going, you don't know where you know what I'm saying? You subjected to the circumstances wherever you at. So one thing about me, I notice anything going on with my truck, I like to get it addressed quick as possible, you know. And I don't like putting my truck in the shop like I had to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm missing out on money. If I want to put my truck in the shop, matter of fact, they try to give me a load Friday for tomorrow, for Monday. I hate turning down loads, man. I'm packed, man. I'm trying to eat everything up. But I had to tell them, like, man, I ain't gonna be able to take it. I gotta put my truck in the shop. Having issues with the clutch, so yeah, it's a bummer. And this is why, from my perspective and my experience, from my personal experience, why I always say, man, you gotta, if you a person that's ever decided to come into the industry and you want to get your own truck at some point in time, man, you gotta have some paper stacked up. You're gonna have to. You gotta have money stacked up for operating costs. You gotta have money stacked up to address problems with the truck, and you gotta have money stacked up to be able to cover yourself while you're not making no money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real business out here, man. And this is why you hear a lot of people fail in this trucking shit, because a lot of people don't look at it like that. Like, this shit is real preparation. You have to prepare with this shit. You really have to really have to be a general of an army. You are the general of your truck, and everything going on with your business is your army. Or at least that's how I look at it. And you have to treat it that way. And you know. But things can be better, things can always be worse. Things can always be worse. So I'm gonna go ahead and relax, man. I'm cooling. But I just want to hit y'all with that, man. Yeah. Get out your comfort zone. Get out your comfort zone to make you stronger. I can tell you within these almost 10 years, heading towards the better part of 10 years I've been in trucking itself being outside of your comfort zone, I can tell you, man, this shit has definitely made me a stronger person. It made me so strong. And, for people that have any type of spiritual foundation, spiritual system, if you believe in God, getting out your comfort zone, I believe, brings people closer with your spiritual system. And even if you don't believe in anything, if you're an atheist or whatever the case may be, getting out your comfort zone will still bring you tighter with yourself. And this trucking shit, since I've been in trucking, this has been a journey, man. But yeah, this shit definitely made me stronger. Definitely made me strong in so many ways. And, the fight ain't over with, man. We still out here. Still out here throwing them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't over yet. So just thought I'd drop that on y'all, man. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go about y'all day, y'all evening, or whatever y'all got going on. Vonnie C, another trucker. Be safe out there in this winter weather. Gone.